Welcome back to Beshu News Podcast. This is Christian Beshu. Back again on another day, another dollar. Lot to get to. One breaking news is a Chavon juror attends a protest, and he says it was a good opportunity to be a part of something. Now, a juror who voted to convict former Minneapolis officer Derek Chavon of murdering George Floyd is defending his decision to attend a social justice demonstration last year. "I've never been to D.C., juror Brandon Mitchell told the Associated Press, referring to a march to commemorate Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. The opportunity to go to D.C., the opportunity to be around thousands and thousands of black people. I thought it was just a good opportunity to be part of something," he added. A photo of Mitchell at the event was recently recirculated by critics who suggested he was not an impartial member of the jury panel. During the jury selection process, the AP noted, all jurors were asked two questions as part of jury selection questionnaire. Did you or someone close to you participate in any of the demonstrations or marches against police brutality that took place in Minneapolis after George Floyd's death? The first asked, with the second person asking, other than what you have already described above, and have you or anyone close to you participate in protests about police use of force or police brutality? Now, Mitchell reportedly answered to both questions. Mitchell separately told Chavon's attorney during the jury selection process that he had a very favorable opinion of the Black Lives Matter movement and that some police officers are great guys. Some police officers are great guys. He insisted he could be impartial during the trial. It was directly related to MLK's March on Washington from the 60s. The date of the March on Washington is the date. Now, it was literally called the anniversary of the March on Washington. Mitchell told the Star Tribune in reference to the demonstration he attended last year. Now, juror consultant Alan Turkheimer explains why there could be grounds for appeal in Derek Chavon's case after a photo of one of the trial jurors showed him wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt on March on Washington, D.C. NASA and SpaceX, $2.9 billion. USD contract suspended following protests from Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. Now, earlier this month, Elon Musk's SpaceX secured $2.9 billion contract with NASA to put humans back on the moon. But the deal has now been suspended due to complaints made by companies that lost out. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin and Alabama-based Dynamic. Both protests were filed to the U.S. Government Accountability Office, with Blue Origin claiming that NASA has executed a flawed acquisition for the Human Landing System program and moved to the goalpost at the last minute. According to a spokesperson for the company, in NASA's own words, it has made a high-risk selection. The decision eliminates opportunities for competition, significantly narrows the supply base on not only delays, but also endangers American return to the moon. In similar vein, Dynetics also challenged NASA and decision for being the most anti-competitive and high-risk option available. In light of these complaints, the contracts between NASA and SpaceX has now been suspended, and it could take until August 4th for a decision to be made regarding the filings. NASA has not made any official comments on the suspension aside from simply acknowledging it. A teacher calling police officer racist and a murderer. Here's the video.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Good morning.
And the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You are correct. I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
You can't be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell phone while you're recording.
I can record you.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
What's your apartment?
It's at my home. I'm just taking my son to his.
Do you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Do you have a picture of your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
May I have it?
And can you call your supervisor, please?
I already did. He's on his way.
Good, because you're a murderer.
Okay.
And so you're giving me a cell phone ticket? Is that why you're harassing me?
Not harassment.
Yeah.
I am enforcing the law.
I
ma'am.
have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I wasn't texting or none of that.
Do you have that
you
picture?
scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not just a feeling, you're a murderer.
Okay. Can you zoom in on that for me, dear?
Sure.
Thank you.
And I'm perfectly legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
Murderer. You're a murderer.
What's your last name? I can't see that there.
Well,
If
here you
stop,
go,
Stop
murderer.
shaking. Zoom in on that for
No,
me,
because
right?
you're scaring me.
Oh,
You're threatening to kill me and my son. Can you give me
Okay.
the
Well,
iPad,
I'll
please?
tell you what. You keep smiling.
Yeah,
You're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me.
I
I'm not
didn't say that.
smiling. You're the one who's crazy.
Hold that still. I can't see that. Is this your car?
Yes, it is. And you're trying to say I stole my own car because you're jealous?
Yeah,
Is that what
I don't
that's
think
about?
so. You wait for me right here, okay?
You're jealous?
Citation, all you need to do is your signature. He's only citing you for using your cell phone while you're driving. That's it.
There you go, ma'am. Sign inside the
For,
red box
being
right
for
there.
him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso?
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never be white, which is what you really want to be.
There you
wanna
go,
be
dear.
White.
Have a
you,
good
ma'am.
day.
You want to be white so bad.
All right, so Kamala Harris claims lack of climate adaptation and climate resilience part of root causes of migrant crisis. That's a melt. So, Vice President Kamala Harris on Tuesday claimed that the lack of climate adaptation and climate resilience in North Triangle countries was the root causes of migrant crisis at the southern U.S. border. Along with the list of other issues, including violence and government corruption, Republicans have pointed to the rolling back of Trump-era border protections like construction of the wall, micro-protection protocols for the surge of migrants at the southern border this year, which has left the Biden administration scrambling to house them, and has seen migrants being released into the interior without court dates.
Addressing both the acute factors and the root causes of migration. And I believe this is an important distinction. We must focus on both. First, the acute factors, the catastrophes that are causing people to leave right now. The hurricanes, the pandemic, the drought, and extreme food insecurity. And then there are the long-standing issues, the root causes. And I'm thinking of corruption, violence, and poverty, the lack of economic opportunity, the lack of climate adaptation and climate resilience, the lack of good governance. Just this weekend, we learned that the Salvadoran parliament moved to undermine its nation's highest court. An independent judiciary is critical to a healthy democracy and a strong economy. On this front, on every front, we must respond.
But the White House has doubled down on its emphasis on root causes such as violence and poverty for the reason for the surge. Now, Harris, who has gone 41 days without a press conference on the border since being given the task of leading the diplomatic effort with Mexico and Central America, has repeatedly made a similar emphasis on Tuesday in each speech to the Washington Conference on the Americas. She made a distinction between acute causes such as drought, food insecurity, and COVID-19 and long-standing root causes. I'm thinking of corruption, violence, and poverty, the lack of economic opportunity, the lack of climate adaptation and climate resilience, a lack of good governance, she said. House Republicans questioned by... While she didn't immediately go into detail, she later spoke of delivering food, shelter, water to the people of Honduras, Guatemala, working with farmers to plant drought-resistant crops and help women farmers increase their crops. Harris has cited weather and climate issues before when talking of root causes. We're looking at extensive storm damage because of extreme climate. We're looking at drought in an area and a region where agriculture is one of the most traditionally important bases for the economy. We're looking at what's happening in terms of food scarcity as a result of that, and in fact, incredibly food insecurity, which is used to call hunger food insecurity, she said. Now, and we're looking at, therefore, a number of issues that also relate to poverty, extreme poverty, and also there's violence obviously coming out of those regions, she said. When you look at those root causes, we are also looking at issues of corruption. Again, we're looking at the issue of climate resiliency and a concern about the lack of economic opportunity. On Tuesday, Harris touted a $310 million investment the U.S. was making in Central America, part of a massive $4 billion investment that Biden administration has promised to make in the region to tackle the root causes. She also said she had spoken to world leaders, including of Canada, Finland, Ireland, Japan, to try to get them to help the Northern Triangle. Recently, Biden administration had said it considering sending cash to Central America to dissuade migrants from making the journey north, a proposal that has picked up opposition from Republicans. Now, Harris has come under fire for not visiting the border or holding a press conference. She also held virtual meetings with the leaders of Guatemala and Mexico and is planning a trip to Guatemala next month. So thanks again for watching Investor News Podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on this YouTube channel, and make it a good day.